Have you ever found yourself just feeling meh about everything? Just not up, not down, not good, not bad, just very much in the middle, a bit of nothing. Well, I have recently, and it turns out it's burnout. Today, on Man vs. Mind, we are talking all about burnout, what causes it, what we can do to try and resolve it, how we can make ourselves feel better, and how it can creep up on absolutely anybody. So just bear that in mind as you're watching today's episode. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, give us a comment. But yeah, take care of yourself. Burnout is real and it can happen to anyone. So enjoy today's show. Alexa, how are things looking today?
Good morning, Tim. Today is Monday, and the weather forecast is looking great. Your psychological and biometric readings are as follows.
Oh, God.
Cognitive load, 97%. Emotional clarity, error detected. Insufficient data, caution advised. Sleep quality. Why did you even bother?
Yeah, I know, right?
Motivation reserves, insufficient.
Oh, it keeps going.
I'm detecting possible burnout.
Yeah, no shit.
Would you like to enter survival mode?
Oh, sure, why not?
Survival mode activated.
Burn, baby, burn. I'm burning out. I don't know about you. Welcome to Man vs. Mind. My name is Tim.
And I'm Jay.
And today we are talking all about burning out and then a bunch of other stuff. So we're done with aging. I thought that was a great series.
Really good.
Yeah, man. Yeah, absolutely. And we got some really lovely feedback as well on the show and on that series in particular. Our friend from the last episode who we spoke about also got back in touch just to say thank you so much and that he felt heard.
Yeah, that's great.
Which was it's totally why we're here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Very validating for us.
And for anybody who's joining the show for the first time, welcome. Thank you for coming. And this is kind of what we do. We're two normal guys who just talk about the stuff that affects us because it doesn't get spoken about enough.
Yeah.
So if you are new around here, we've got a whole bunch of episodes for you to go back and listen to now. And for everyone, man, please give us a rating, give us a review, and get in touch on Man vs. Mind Pod on Instagram or manvsmindpod@gmail.com or manvsmindpod.com. Let us know what you think of the show. If you want to contribute, if you want to talk to us, we're here. It's totally what we're here for. So, Jay, how's it going?
Yeah, good. Quick week. Flown by.
Yeah?
I think we say this every week, but it's just getting quicker and quicker. It's ridiculous.
Because the week goes so fast.
So quickly.
So does life, so does time. And today we are going to be talking a bit about, burnout and what burnout is and how it feels. Because a couple of weeks ago, I walked into therapy, as I do, on a Friday morning. And my therapist was like, okay, how's it going? Sit down, have a bit of natter, talk about some stuff that's happened during the week, talk about the family, all that stuff. And then I think I said this in like the first or second episode. He always does this. It's brilliant. The timing is perfect every single time. He went, how's my patient? And I was like, do you know what? I can't put my finger on it. I don't know. And that was the most genuine answer I could kind of muster was, I don't know how I am at the moment. And he went, okay, just tell me a bit more about that. What can't you put your finger on? And I said, well, I'm not anxious. I'm not feeling depressed. I'm not feeling sad. Just feeling kind of like nothing.
Yeah.
And that feels like a bit of a concern. Should I really be feeling nothing? Like I'm kind of waking up in the morning and just feeling a bit kind of just like meh.
Yeah, like downtrodden. Is downtrodden the words? Like
yeah.
when you're just not quite there and you're like, okay, what we got to do today? What have I got to get through today? More than okay, what can we do today?
Yeah. And it was trying to just like assign a feeling to what I was feeling, and I couldn't. And he said, okay, so what have you got going on at the moment? And I was like, well, work's been really fucking intense. Since we got back from our trip about a month ago, work just went crazy. Kids is busy and nuts and amazing but exhausting. Side hustle, man versus mind. You know, we've spoken about other kind of business stuff that we're working on before, trying to sell our house, still being bothered and affected by like the weight gain that I had since I started taking anti-anxiety medication like a year ago. And I was just like, I feel like I haven't had the chance to just like mentally refresh for ages.
Especially coming back off a holiday, which was a holiday, but wasn't relaxing. And
yeah. I mean, we travelled.
Yeah.
But you know, when you're traveling with kids, it's kind of a holiday. It's a break from work.
Is it?
Yeah, well, it was for me.
Yeah,
it was for me. I mean, after getting back to work and having all the stuff to deal with after that, it wasn't fucking worth it.
Yeah.
But yeah, and he just kind of looked at me and basically said, "Look, I'm telling you, and I hope this helps define how you're feeling. You are clearly burnt out." And I cried. Not like bawling, but just like a couple of tears came to my eyes because I was like, that actually kind of finally explains how I've been feeling.
The realization of what you've been feeling
and being able to label it. And, you know, it felt like acknowledgement for everything that I've been feeling and not being able to kind of like put my finger on, because like so often the phrase kind of like, what the fuck is wrong with me? Like, what is actually wrong at the moment? I can't figure it out. And I'm sure that so many people must have similar thought processes to that.
Yeah.
And not be able to know or understand or contextualize or put into any kind of like relevance what the feeling is they have. And so you must just assume that there must be something wrong with me. And then I laughed because about a month before that, sat in the same chair, in the same room, looking at the same fucking therapist, he said to me, dead in the eye, just don't let yourself get burnt out. And I was like, oh man, you warned me about this. And I just fucking plowed ahead.
He saw
and
the
did
signs.
it anyway. He knew it was coming, man. He knew it was coming. So yeah, it was quite a sobering conversation. And then I saw him again last week and he was like, how you doing? I'm just like, I'm still so burnt out. I'm just so burnt out. And then he was like trying to help me like find ways of getting through the burnout.
Yeah, okay.
But before we get onto that, I want to ask you, did what I just say kind of resonate with you at all?
I mean, yes and no. I think with my work, my line of work, it's very common, I think, just to be constantly tired, constantly stressed, constantly worried about, you know, what's going on at work, what's happening tomorrow. You don't really get time to think about what happened yesterday, to kind of live in the moment kind of thing. It's all very much, okay, well, tomorrow we have this, next month we have this, and then we have to build and build and build towards that. So I think burnout is very common, and I know that my partners have suffered from it. I have as well. And yeah, so that does relate. But for me, it becomes very all-encompassing, that feeling, and you're just like, okay, I know I need to get through this today, and I know I have this to do, and then by the end of that day, that's it. You've managed to do those things just maybe by the skin of your teeth, and then there's nothing else left of you to do anything. You're just gone.
But the danger with that is that you're then burnt out a little bit more.
Oh,
and you've just pushed yourself through a bit more burnout. So it's kind of just like this spiraling.
Yeah, there's no stopping to kind of smell the roses. It's like, okay, well, I've done that. I need to do it again tomorrow, and I need to do it again tomorrow, and this is going to happen until the company sells.
Right.
Because otherwise, the company doesn't sell.
Yeah.
And then that's it. Then it's all been a waste of time.
As well as work, what about the non-worky stuff that kind of piles on top? Do you find like relief or added pressure in non-work stuff?
No, massive relief. Yeah, so spending time with my daughter is a big release for me. So like even if I've had a really shitty day at work, which actually happened a couple of days ago, I got home and my daughter pulled out her swimming shoes, you know, the ones that they use by the pool.
Yeah.
And just said, swimming, Dada, swimming. I'm like, I have no energy. I have nothing in the tank. But I was like, no, I'm going to do it, because I regret not doing that more than I would have sitting on the sofa.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I took her and we spent half an hour in the pool, and that really kind of brought me back to life a little bit. I was refreshed and still very tired, but refreshed.
And you have to make a very conscious effort when you're that knackered, because your first thought is just like, I just need like quiet and a sofa cushion that I can make world class arse grooves in. But then you kind of really have to like pull yourself out of that stupor and be like, no, I'm gonna like push through no matter how tired I'm feeling.
Oh, for sure, yeah. And it's not easy.
No,
it's really not easy. And I can get why people don't, and this kind of burnout gets really, really too much.
Yeah,
I can really understand that. And I mean, look, grateful that I do have a kid that can kind of pick me up out of it at times, because I can't look at her and be like, oh no, it's all right, Daddy's had a bad day, you go play on your own. Can't do that.
Yeah.
But if I didn't have that, and I didn't have my wife picking me up, then I don't think it would be a very nice place to be.
No, I mean it's tough.
Yeah,
it is tough, and everybody can be subjected to it. Anybody can be subjected to getting burnt out, and like, I don't know what the kind of motivator is to try and accomplish all the things that you try and accomplish in life that lead you to being burnt out.
That's a really good question. It's a really good question, because there's got to be a point where you go, fuck this.
Yeah,
I need to stop. Like, I mean, for example, we're going away, and I haven't actually told you this, so the first time I'm going away for a while, so we're gonna have to figure out how to do the podcast.
Pack your microphone.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm already stressing about it now.
The podcast or the trip?
But it's an element of it, for sure.
Yeah.
There's an element of it that I'm stressing about, and that is, well, I'm going away, and it's going to be for 16 days. We have 3 really big events in those 16 days, which I'm super excited for and super happy about. We've got a christening and a wedding, and all with people that I love and family. So there's amazing. But I'm also going to be away for 16 days from work. I'm also going to be away from the podcast. And there's so much stuff, and that is giving me burnout before I've even had the holiday. It's like anxiety, burnout is everything. I'm like, oh my God, I'm not going to be able to enjoy this. Because I'm going to be worried 24/7. I don't know. I really don't know how to fix that.
It's not going to be easy to switch off. And I found, if it's any consolation, the first week of the holiday that I took, for the first week, I could not slow my brain down. And I'd have like a day on of feeling really overwhelmed, still thinking about work, still thinking about selling the house, still thinking about all the other stuff going on back home. And then the next day I'd be like the most free-spirited, wearing baggy yoga pants and having like a hair braid and just going, dude, everything is so amazing right now. And then the next day I'll be back to being, I'm so fucking tense, I'm gonna, like, my own teeth are gonna shatter. And the second week, I learned to just kind of switch off entirely. I then completely stopped thinking about work and stopped thinking about the stuff going on back home.
Yeah.
And I was able to then just like be in the moment for a full week.
I think what I'm going to try and do is kind of wean myself off it. So
Off work.
So I've said, first week I'm going to work. Normally I've said to everyone, you guys, because for a start, who takes 16 days off work? It's the longest I've ever taken off ever. It's ridiculous. But it needs to be done, and I'm happy it's getting done. So first week I'll be working and just kind of in the mornings or in the afternoons, whenever it is, but getting what needs to get done. And then slowly but surely, I've told the guys I'm going to be tapering off towards the end of it. So we'll see how that works. I can't see it working that way.
The thing is, it's essential that you do have the chance to turn your brain off, because if you don't, you're going to come back from your holiday.
My concern is it may not start again if I turn it off.
Always a valid concern. Always a really valid concern. It does take a lot of like really like ripping that cord on the engine, trying to get it started, trying to get the brain back going again. And it took me a few days after getting back from leave to like actually kind of get back into the swing of things again. Like which icon is for my email again? So yeah, but it is super duper essential, because like coming back onto the things that lead to burnout and how it feels when you're really burning out. Fuck, this happened literally like 5 minutes before we started recording, my wife said to me, our little boy said that you've been getting angrier with him recently. And I was like, oh, fuck. Like, I didn't think I had. I really didn't think I had. And then my first instinct, as is the first instinct with most people, probably more certainly with men, is to be like, no, I haven't.
Yeah. Defensive.
Yeah. Yeah, defend yourself. Because you're like, well, I haven't.
Yeah.
What does he know? He's 3. But then I kind of like caught myself feeling like I was about to get defensive and just said, okay, I hear that. If that's how he views it,
yeah,
even if that's not my intent or my account of things, then there must be an element to it. And then I thought back to quite early this morning when I was sitting on my bed and I had like a coffee cup on the bedside table next to me, and he was like throwing himself over me towards that bedside table, and I was like, dude, stop it. You're gonna hit a glass or a cup or like hurt yourself or send glass and coffee everywhere. And then it turned into like a full-on kind of 10-minute wrestling match of me trying to stop him from throwing himself into the corner. And eventually I just said, look, dude, stop.
Yeah.
Because I don't want you to hurt yourself. So I don't know if that was kind of like, and that was one of the final interactions I had with him that day, which was right early in the morning because then I was working all day. And then sort of as soon as I finished working, I was taking the little girl out for a nap. And then by the time I got back, it was basically bedtime for him. So I really didn't see much of him at all. And his lingering memory of that day is me being quite harsh with him. And I was like, dude, that sucks.
Yeah.
And so it made me really think, oh, crap, is that a consequence of me just being knackered and mentally drained and not having the ability to be as patient as I should be? Or is it an interpretation from his side that I was being harsh, whereas from my side it was, I don't want you to smack your head on this glass?
I'd probably take the second one.
There's probably an element of both.
Maybe, but
as with anything, the truth lies in between the two extremes. But yeah, I mean, it still was a rough thing to hear.
Yeah, it's not nice for sure.
Yeah, not nice at all. After my therapist said, you're very definitely burnt out, and then I cried, and then I went away for a week and was able to kind of feel what it felt like to be burnt out. It's the first time I've ever been told that I'm evidently burnt out. I've started trying to think about ways that I can alleviate that load, because what you can't do is turn off the responsibilities. You can't turn time off, as we spoke about for 4 consecutive weeks leading up to this episode. But I have started to put things in place to try and like lighten the mental load and to rejuvenate myself a little bit, to feel less burnt out.
So these are from your. So you've come up with these ideas,
and by chatting with my therapist.
Okay, so he's also given you the the guidelines. Maybe this could help. Maybe that could help. And okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'll be interested to hear these. Actually,
well, one of the main ones he was trying to get at. Going further back, he was like, do you play video games? This is like quite a while ago. He was asking me this. And I said, yeah. And I just thought, oh, he's just like into video games himself. He said, what kind of video games do you play? And I was like, oh, football games, FIFA, whatever. But I kind of stopped playing that online because it just pisses me off too much.
Yeah, too many kids are better than you.
Yeah, and it's easy. Do you know what? I'm not going to go down that road. And then I was like, but I also really love like adventure games and offline games where you play a character and go and do loads of cool shit in an open world. And he was like, do you ever play online? And I said, well, I come back to my point about getting pissed off about playing against people who are far superior to me, younger kids as well. That's just irritating.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, okay then. And I was like, why do you ask? And he was like, well, I'm trying to get into whether you're like competitive. He said, do you play sports with your mates? And I was like, yeah, but not really competitively. Like, played a bit of paddle for a bit, occasionally played golf, things like that. And he said competition, even if it's like in video gaming format, is really good for like releasing testosterone. Okay. And releasing testosterone is really good for your mental health.
Even in gaming?
Yeah.
Because I thought that he was going to say, this is why you're burnt out. because you're up all night playing PlayStation instead of sleeping.
Covered in fucking Doritos dust.
Exactly. Because so
and
many
just the smell of man who haven't got off the sofa for 14 hours.
So many people. I know one person in particular that will get home from work and play games. I think it's I've never been a gamer, really. I had a PlayStation and N64 when I was a kid, and it kind of stopped there. Is it the Fortnite one where they build those weird houses and stuff and run around?
Oh, yeah. That's very young for our age demographic.
He's a bit younger than us.
Okay.
And he will play that till like 3-4 in the morning consecutively.
Jesus.
And I think to myself, how are you doing that? Okay, fine, you're in your 20s.
Does he function as a human being in daylight hours?
Apparently so, yeah. He's
Wow.
up and working. I can't get my head... And that's where I thought he was going to go with that, your therapist. Like, well, stop that straight away because that's keeping you awake.
No, actually, quite conversely, it was music to my ears when he was like, carve out a bit of time to like just sit and play some video games.
Really?
And I was like, wow. Cool. You're a dude.
Came bawling in. It's all right, wife. I'm allowed to do this. I got a letter from the therapist.
Therapist says so.
Yeah.
So he was like, yeah, try and do that. If you can actually go and compete IRL, then that's even better.
Of course.
Right? And then he was like, but if you can't get into a competitive environment, just get into the gym. Like, just start lifting weights. Specifically trying to lift weights because it releases more testosterone. It will help you feel better, like, up there. And so that was the one that I've finally started to put into place over the last kind of like 10 days or so. So I've done like 4 workouts in the last week and a bit.
That's really good.
Honestly, I said last week, it hurts.
Yeah.
I'm starting to remember why I did do it so much and loved it, and why I was in like such good condition a couple of years ago. And then I also remembered why I stopped doing it at the same time.
But it gets better, right? The ache after you get to a certain level, surely.
Well, it isn't just like the quote unquote DOMS.
Yeah.
The delayed onset muscle soreness. I had that last week. It was like niggling old injuries that only seem to get aggravated.
You're working stuff that you haven't worked in a long time, and it hurt you in the past. Now it's coming back again.
And so like a big one for me, and so many people can relate to this, is having back pain. And I specifically get it like behind my shoulder blade.
Right.
Like nearer the middle of my back, but under the shoulder blade.
So it's where you're lifting a lot from as well, that kind of area.
Yeah, and like generally when you're working your back, like those muscles get activated. And so that started like twinging again today and yesterday, and I was like, oh, for fuck's sake.
But it's good you're going. And it's also interesting, he said, because obviously we spoke about why we think burnout happens, but he's saying it's testosterone based.
It's not testosterone based, the burnout. It's not a lack of testosterone, but having more testosterone being released organically can help manage it. Yeah. And so that, coupled with like trying to eat a bit better, has made me feel a bit better about my own mind. Yeah. Which is the most important thing. I don't know if it's had an impact on my weight or physique or whatever. It might just subconsciously in the way that I carry myself. Yeah. Feeling a bit more confident from starting to go to the gym again. But most importantly, with the odd exception here and there, and I admit it's only been 10 days, so there's probably a bit of like recency and confirmation bias in my mindset of it. Like, I'm aware that I've made this change and started to do it again, and so I feel better for having started to do it again. But I'm starting to feel a bit more alert again, just mentally. Yeah, just good. A bit more switched on, a little bit more with it, with the exception of first thing this morning when like sort of 3 workouts in 4 days like kicked me in the arse, and like, I was just exhausted physically. Like mentally I was kind of fine, but physically I just felt knackered. And so it's kind of just making me go, is it worth it? And then I have to really consciously go, yes, I think yes it is.
I say it is, coming from a man that says he was going to do it 2 months ago and still hasn't done anything about it. But now that you're doing it, maybe that gives me the emphasis to that drive, that little bit. Okay, Tim's doing it, maybe I should do it as well. Yeah. Why not?
Yeah, why not? Give it a go.
When I get back from the holiday.
When you're feeling completely burnt out again.
Exactly, yeah.
All right. We are going to take a quick break, and then we'll be back to just talk a little bit more. We'll like segue into how we like compare ourselves to other people, because that's something that I found going back to the gym.
No, yeah, for sure.
Is just like eyeballing around the gym, just being like, oh my God. So we'll come on to that straight after this.
Welcome back to Man versus Minds. So we're going to talk a little bit about comparisons, and it's actually something that we've spoken about doing a full episode on, because I think it's a very broad subject and certainly something I have some views on. So we can talk about it a little bit more in depth.
Yeah.
But as we are talking about you stepping foot into the gym and me promising to at some stage this year.
Hang on. So a month ago it was we're actively interviewing PTs.
And we did.
And you okay. So now it's at some point this year.
All right, fine. I'll do it when I get back.
From Christmas?
No, I've thought about that. No, I'll do it when we get back from Lebanon. I will go to the gym.
Oh, that was a promise to the camera.
That was a promise to the camera.
Yeah, so if you're watching us on
that.
YouTube, Jay has just eyeballed the world.
Yes.
And said, I'm doing this.
Yeah, I need to, because my business partner, he's started and he's really committed to it. And he's got a McDonald's at the bottom of his building and he's avoiding that and going to the gym. So
wow. The smell must be... Do you know what I found is... So years and years and years ago, my brother was training for the marathon. This is like well over a decade ago, like 15 years ago or something. My brother was training for the marathon, and he did it, which is amazing.
Yeah,
I think he did it twice.
Wow.
Not in one go.
No, of
that
course.
would be insane. And so he was getting me along with him here and there. I hated it. God, I hate running. Right, it's just the worst. Right, but I was doing it with him, so we're doing some pretty long runs. And we're doing it around London, around one of the big parks there, and then you're running back through the street towards where we lived. And we ran past this, probably, I'm not exaggerating by saying probably about like 15 kilometres in. And we ran past a fried chicken shop.
Ooh.
And I spontaneously like threw up in my mouth. I didn't then actually throw up on the street, but I kind of had to just like stomach it. It was so grim, so grim. But it was the smell of like the oil and the fried food that was just like billowing out of like favourite chicken or something that just made me feel so sick, because I was in such a different place to that. So, I mean, fair play to your business partner for avoiding Mackie D's for all that time.
I don't know how he does it.
No. So you're now committed?
Well, apparently so, yes.
Well, it's on record now.
It's on record, isn't it?
It's right there.
Okay.
For the world to see.
Fine.
Going back to the gym was something that I did to try and get over burnout, to try and make myself feel a bit better. But coming on to the comparison thing, what I noticed is that as soon as I went back into the gym, my first thought was like, man, everyone here is in just so much better shape than me. And again, I came back to that thing that we spoke about in the body image series, like, which was, well, if they're judging me, it's their problem. But I couldn't stop myself from kind of like doing it. But then I was also like, aside from comparing myself to these people, I was then watching how these people were comparing themselves to others around the gym, and like the little social interactions that, I don't know, I don't want to sound like super duper judgmental, but it was like, who are you doing this for? Like, not just the working out thing, but there was one bro who, and I say bro like deliberately, was like flexing around, and then he was getting, I hope he knows her. I hope he's like going out with her or something. He was just getting some girl to take pictures of him with his top off. And he was like really like flexing, you know, that sort of like Hulk smash, like flex pose.
Veins out the neck, all that stuff.
Like really going for, look at all my muscles. I was just like, who are you doing that for? So you're presumably, that's going to go straight on social media.
Well, yeah.
Like, what else are you going to do with that? I don't want to know what else you're going to do with that. Is he doing it for himself? Is he doing it for his followers? Or is he doing it to try and impress that girl? And genuinely, I was just sitting there because I was just like waiting for a cab or something afterwards. And I was just like, dude, who's this for? Who is this for? And so like there was an element of like comparison to that, because I was like, well, you're in objectively great shape. Good for you. You probably spend far more hours in the gym than I could ever muster.
Yeah. And has done for a long time.
Oh, evidently.
Yeah.
And so the comparison thing between myself and him was kind of there, but you just see it all around, especially in a gym, which my gym, quite soon after I joined, I realised is like an influencer hotspot.
Yeah. Which doesn't help matters.
Oh, it doesn't?
No. I mean, I think now when I get back and I do start, I'm going to have to... I'm quite good at going, okay, I'm the only person in this room. Not in
Yes.
I'm the only one that matters in this room.
No.
I'm the biggest thing in this room. Very much, I don't give a shit about anyone else around me. It's just me. I'm going to get in. I'm going to do what I need to do, and I'm not going to take notice.
Mm-hmm.
And it took a while from when I initially used to go to the gym, and again, I was in relatively good shape. It took a lot for me to get into that mindset. But I found that once I was in that mindset, that I don't really care about anyone else in here. If someone says hello, I'm going to say hello. Of course, I'm not ever just going to be like, no, I'm not talking to you. I'm doing my sets and that's it. But it was a lot easier. It was a lot easier to kind of manage, and you don't notice as much that's going around, and the stuff that I don't like about the gym, which is, as I say, often the bigger boys running around and all that kind of stuff.
The machismo.
Yeah, which is really not me, and I know very well
and the
it's
kind
not
of like
you.
pissing to mark territory kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of all that, and I'm not saying that every gym has this, and and these people that go there, maybe that is their and fair enough, they're there, like you say, 24/7 doing it. It's kind of probably like me in the office or whatever it is, like I'm sat here, this is what I do.
Yeah, but presumably when you're in the office, you're not kind of like strutting around looking at people who don't go to the office as much as you.
Maybe
going, you don't belong here. No. What are you doing here?
It may be a bit more productive if I did. Just walked around people going, all right, you weren't here yesterday. What's going on here?
Yeah, but then you turn to that guy who's like, all right, part-timer.
Yeah.
What time do you call this?
No.
It's 9:02, boss.
But yeah, I will get into that mindset that just get on with it and do your 45 minutes, do your 30 minutes, whatever it is, and just get out. Because I think if you do then if you don't go in with that mindset and you're constantly looking and you're worried and just observing probably too much, then you're not really focusing on why you're there. And that is for the burnout, and that's to get fit, and that's to be healthier. I think if you can keep those. Hey, here's the thing. So last week you said, I think it was last week, we said that 3 work towards the goals that make you better, right? This is kind of what we went into about, the I want to be a good father, a good this and a good that. And I'm going to work towards those.
Yeah.
And if anything outside of those isn't affecting it, then it's not worth doing.
Yeah, this was in the context of me saying, like, what do you want to be remembered for?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So maybe
so focus on those principles and let them guide you.
So maybe take that kind of mindset into the gym. I'm going here because I want to take away the burnout. I want to be healthier, and I want to, I don't know, maybe look better, lose a bit of weight, whatever it is. Yeah. And if maybe you just focus on those things, then the kind of bravado doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not like I'm sitting there like curled up in a ball in the
Of course
corner.
not. No, I'm not saying.
And just going, oh, these people are looking at me and I don't like it. But it's more like just passing thoughts.
Yeah.
The beauty of the anti-anxiety medication that I've been taking for the last year is that, despite having changed medication a couple of times, is that I no longer like have a negative thought or an intrusive thought,
and it sticks,
and I don't just like grab onto it. I don't like harpoon gun it and just fixate. I can let that kind of slide.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you reference work, comparison culture in the workplace. How does that manifest for you? Because work is such a huge part of your life.
Yeah, I mean, if I take my 2 business partners, I can't compare. I would never be able to. Yeah. Because they are just the smartest people I've ever met in my life. So there's no way I can sit there and be like, oh yeah, I'm going to be jealous of how smart you are. It's just, there is just no comparison.
Yeah.
I'm good at what I do, and that's great. And I'd say I'm very good at what I do, but they excel.
Right.
So they are those 2 are the anomaly.
You had it right the first time.
I had it right the first time. It didn't sound right when it came out of my mouth.
But it was quite pleasing to hear you sound a bit like Finding Nemo trying to say an enemy.
Watched that the other day. They're the anomaly where they are just, they're the 1%. Yes. So it's really, really hard to compare to them. But then you see like other people working and stuff and outside of my company, and the success that they've had, and I'm all for garnering success, and if it's happened, then amazing, I'm really there for you. But there is that bit inside of your head that's like, yeah, but I think I work harder. Why am I not, or why are we not there? because we're putting so much effort in.
Mm-hmm.
I can't add it up, but that's only because I'm seeing it probably through a social media screen, and
For sure.
I'm not seeing the effort that they put in.
Yeah.
And you have to remind yourself that, or I do constantly, that
It's all relative.
It's all relative. No one gets successful from nothing. Okay, maybe there's examples and fame and certain things where maybe you don't have to do a huge amount to be at the top.
Yeah, and there's like right place, right time element for a lot of people as well. But that graft pays off.
Of course,
for
always.
the best part.
Yeah.
For the best part.
Yeah.
And there are exceptions. And there are people who work tirelessly their whole lives and don't get that payout.
Mm.
Yeah. I think it's an interesting one because I have found that, like, historically, not constantly, but just every now and then I find myself, it might be if I'm going through a challenging time at work, I'm kind of like comparing myself, not necessarily directly to other people in the workplace, but in a way where I'm like, are they working as hard as me? Are they finding it as hard as I am at the moment? Like,
yeah,
is my perception of work being really, really hard literally just in my head right now, or is it objectively really tough? And are other people going through the same thing, or are they just like sort of ducks in the water where they look like they're just breezing along, but their feet under the water are going mental?
Yeah.
You know, is that kind of the situation they're in? Do they think they're in exactly the same situation as me? And especially like in my role, I have direct counterparts who are doing the exact same job as me, but with a few changes, obviously.
Yeah.
So I find myself kind of like just occasionally comparing myself to them. Am I doing as well as them objectively in terms of my numbers and my output and whatever? If yes, then great. If not, then how does that reflect on them, or how does it reflect on me? I find myself kind of falling into that trap of comparison. But then it kind of makes me wonder what really causes our need to compare ourselves to other people.
It has to be genetic. It has to be evolutionary or something like that from years and years ago, where you needed to be, I guess, bigger, stronger, faster, the alpha. It must have come from that. But
do you reckon, like, kind of Homo erectus? No. Do you reckon?
I'm really struggling.
We're Homo erectus.
Yeah.
Do you reckon that, like, Homo sapien in their cave, right? Cavemen.
Yeah.
Were kind of like having little anxiety episodes because the caveman in the next cave over had just like slain a bigger saber-toothed tiger.
Maybe relatively, yeah. Because they didn't have food. They'll be like, oh, whoa, hang on, matey boy over there's got a saber.
Yeah.
I've got a, I was going to say didgeridoo, but that's not the one that died out, is it? It's the dodo.
Didgeridoo.
Didgeridoo. And that's not going to feed the family.
No.
So maybe they could have like these little existential crises, but even back then.
Although given that the didgeridoo is now extinct,
yeah,
maybe there were a bunch of like inferior cavemen who could only get the dodo.
Yeah.
Although saber-toothed tigers are very much extinct now anyway.
See, this is why we need to visit or do a whole episode on time travel and going back.
Jay, you and time travel, man. You and time travel. I like that you're saying we just have to time travel.
We just have to do it.
We're just going to have to do it.
Yeah.
It's not like my lack of desire to time travel is what's holding us back here. But look, there's so much more that we can kind of like dig into.
And I think we should as well.
With this. And we'll do that next week. Cliffhanger, I know. Dun, dun, dun. So yeah, we'll come on to our kind of views on not just like gym and work comparison, but how you might compare yourself to friends or family, and the effects of social media in particular is like insane. That's rich. We can go into that. We can get deep.
There's a lot there.
Yeah.
There is a lot there.
For surezies. So we'll do all of that next week, but in the meantime, look, take care of yourselves. If you feel like you're burning out, just try and take a step back. Go to the gym. Play some Fortnite.
Apparently.
Or a game for grown-ups. Or just like go play some football or go for a drink with your mate.
Yeah.
Even then, my therapist said, just go out for some beers. It's brilliant. It's like my best mate is just telling me to go do shit that's fun.
It's
And
like
under the guise of like mental health.
that is like advice your mate would give you. Oh, do you know what? I'm feeling really down. I'm feeling really burnt out. So just go to the pub.
Just go to the pub.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, get the PlayStation on, then you'll be fine. Yeah, I know, but all right, okay, fine. Just go play some football.
It sounds like what really will combat burnout is just a lads' night. Pizzas, get some beers in.
Just have some fun.
Just play some PlayStation.
Just do the stuff that you love doing, and you will conquer burnout.
All of it.
There you
all
go.
of that. So yeah, but do just kind of just keep an eye on yourself with that, because it definitely snuck up on me. And I was kind of like wary that I was taking on so much, but all of a sudden it just like hit me like a ton of bricks. In the meantime, drop us a note on Instagram, Man vs. Mind Pod. Drop us an email. We'd love to hear some of your stories about burnout if this has resonated with you. But we'll be back next week.
Next week, yeah.
Cool. Take care, guys.
Cheers, guys. Bye-bye.